Hi Ram Simona.
Sairam.
Thank you for joining us this evening on this series, Unite and Inspire. We know that you have been in the Sai fold since the early 70s. Can you share with us a little as to how you first came into contact with Bhagwan?
My husband used to work at the Ministry of Education, and there was this guy from Marabella who owned the exercise copybook Trimpad, one we refer to him, and he became very friendly with my husband, and they used to talk about religion and so he knew we had a unit of the Divine Life Society, and he asked if he could attend and if he could bring some devotees. He brought Mr. Chailu, his son, and Pandit Purnima, who had visited Baba before. Pandit Purnima, he's the one who gave a little discourse and then they showed a little film. We had about 40 people who we all had belonged to Divine Life Society in those days. So he bought 3 books for us, but we never really read books. It was just on the shelves there. And then one day I just took up this book, Man of Miracles, and I started to read it. So that was the beginning of our journey with Sai.
And can you share with us this evening 2 of your most memorable experiences with Sai?
I had the opportunity to visit Puttaparthi in 1988, May 1988. We went to Whitefield. Swami was not in Puttaparthi. Whitefield was not like how it is today. It was just this big shed with this Krishnamurti, a huge Krishnamurti and Baba chair. Baba came slowly, walking, taking letters, and he happened to stop in front of me. And when he looked into my eyes, I froze. The message I got is that I know you, welcome, and I realized then and there he knew my past, my present, and my future. 9 days after we had an interview with him, and in that interview, Baba was asking my nephew wife, are you married? And she said, yes, Swami. He said, and where is husband? She said, over there. Pointed to him. And Swami looked at him and said, oh, I remember you. I know what you did in that room. And he pointed his finger towards the guest house we were staying. And he said, I was there and I saw what happened. You get vexed too quick. What happened earlier that day, or what Baba was referring to, is what happened in that room. Only my nephew, his wife, and myself. We 3 were there in the room. And I call her my niece, she was biting on her nails. And my nephew just pulled her hand away and said, why are you behaving like a little child? You don't bite on your nails. But he was squeezing her fingers so hard that the ring she had on cut her finger. So she started to cry and she did not eat any dinner. For me, that incident there was showing his omnipresence. Why I was there and I had to witness that is to tell me and for me to be aware that he is always with us. He's always seeing everything and he knows everything. My second experience that I would like to share with you all is on that same trip. We have another interview. We went to the outer interview room and there were 2 Italian guys together with us in that outer interview room. And there Swami asked, "What is the time?" And nobody answered, and he waved his hand and materialized a watch for the Italian guy with the correct time, and he gave it to him. That is another miracle that I always remember. Swami asked the marriage party to come into the inner interview room. He said he's going to perform wedding. My nephew took that coat that normally the bridegroom will wear and turban, and he asked me to help him to button up and to help him with the turban. So I got up and I started to button all these buttons, and there were about 10 buttons. And being a little nervous in front of Swami, I was taking it a little long. So Swami came, stood up at my side, shoulder to shoulder, looked at me, and then started to button. So I was buttoning one, he was buttoning one. I put the turban on my nephew's head, and some hair was in front. You know, boys have these way of combing their hair on their forehead. So when I put the turban on, some of the hair was still showing. I took the turban out, off his head, pushed back some hair, put it on back, and still it was not fixed properly, maybe to Swami's liking. He came forward, took the turban out, and then fixed his hair, and then turned to me as if, "You can't even fix a turban." He put back fixed the hair, put the turban on. So these are memories that I'll always cherish in my heart. When I remember these experiences, tears roll down my eyes. At that time in the interview room, Swami was like a friend. He interacted, he laughed, he talked to us. And it's only when I think back about what happened that day, then I realized that divinity came down to my level and made me feel comfortable. And he is everywhere. He knows your ability, and he likes perfection. So he showed me that I should aspire to be a perfect devotee of his.
And Auntie Mona, can you share with us as well, how has practicing the teachings of Bhagwan impacted and transformed your life?
I've been trying to practice his teachings, and in my life I have realized how I have grown spiritually. I have become very calm and very positive, and I have tried, and I am trying still, to see that positivity in each and every one that I come into contact with, and trying not to be judgmental. My way of life now is to live for God.
Auntie Mona, I know you are a member of the Montreal Science Centre for the past 34 years and counting. You are considered the mother of that centre and also a senior devotee of the Satyasai organization of Trinidad and Tobago. As an elder, what advice would you give to our viewers as to how we can create a better society, a more value-based society?
Swami addresses us as embodiments of love. Take that as an example. Follow the values that he has taught and follow your goal. Be patient, have faith in him. He has promised that He will protect you as the eyelids protect the eyes. He is in front of you, He is beside you, He is under you, He is above you. So have that faith that Swami is always with you. And
I'd like to thank you for joining us this evening, and thank you ever so much for sharing those beautiful experiences and memories you've had with Bhagwan, and for all of the advice you have given to us as well.
thank you for this opportunity. Sai Ram.